mountain across the way. What do we do? I heard they're gonna do this. I heard they eat people. I heard this. I heard that. You know what? Well, we should, be proactive. And this person hit that person in the head with a rock, and then it just started, right? Like, it kept going. Peace to this floating rock. And not that we should learn to go to space to leave this rock. We're here, you know. I think the idea is we should eventually come together enough um, to leave this rock to establish life on other rocks, and not just throwing this one away because we trashed it. We used it up and threw it in the garbage. No, we continue it. We let this keep going. We improve our chances by improving how many more rocks we're on. Because there could be an asteroid. And conspiracy theory, exactly. Make it better for the future generations. And that's the conversations we need to be having. We need to be having, not, this person's that, this person's this. I feel like you're this narrative. You must be that narrative, so you're not going to hear what I say about this. We need to start talking about how we're going to make it better for our future generations, how we're going to make it better for our kids. A lot of people in this Twitch forum, you guys are starting to hit those ages where you're starting to have children, and I know you want a better world for them. And not only that, we're in an age right now where people just aren't having children because they're terrified what the world could be. The world's an ugly place, as people say. I don't think it's the world's an ugly place. I think that man's ego has made it ugly. You know, we think of ourselves as this one entity that doesn't, you know, isn't part of nature, but we are very much a part of nature. We are very much a part of everything on this. And I think, a psychedelic experience I personally had, because I am a psilocybin facilitator, was very powerful with the thoughts of establishing this as a, acceptable mainstream medicine. And medicine might be too harsh a word because, of course, there's a bunch of corporate, profiteering that goes with that. But a natural alternative psychedelic healing process for informational purposes only, that kind of help us connect to that part. That's the part where spirit, people say they connect with the spiritual part of things. That's the spiritual part, that's the part that people of all religions experience during these experiences. Some religions, there's a great story on Rolling Stone about how they turned around. So I think I got a couple customers walking in, so I'm just going to help them. Nope. Okay, yeah. I think they've seen the no Nick sign. So I tried to put it inside, but I put it underneath the mushroom one so that they can come in, they can see it, they can be like, oh, no nicotine, oh, but you have psilocybin you do psilocybin services, what? And we do psilocybin services legally in Oregon, okay? And I am not offering psilocybin services to any of you viewers, okay? You can still achieve this by meditation, mental talking. This is just for informational purposes only. For some of us, it has worked. It has been wonderful. For others, you're gonna, not have the same experience. I can say, openly, there have, these products are not associated with tons of deaths, unlike alcohol and tobacco. So everything I'm saying is just for informational purposes only. But I love your question. Thank you, Gamer J-Man. Yeah, they're definitely looking for nicotine bars. I do appreciate your question. And if you guys ever want to talk about that with nicotine bars, let me know because I'm well versed in that field. Not happy with it whatsoever. Love the money. Oh, the money is great. That money is money. That money's good. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna get that charged for my baby boy. Let's see here. Let's see if I can unplug this without unplugging the other one here. Oh, so yeah, we gotta make it for our registry. That's what happened. So so for me, my own journey. When my first boys were born, I really wanted to change things. I joined Occupy movement, in solidarity. We marched against Spanx. We marched against like police brutality. This was before 2020's marches. Before Ferguson and all that stuff. I'm not saying we were doing it first or nothing, but it was just part of our conversation. A lot of people were marching for like net neutrality. There was a lot of people involved. Um, it was a leaderless movement. You know, that was the point. Was to not leaders can be killed, leaders can be jailed, leaders can be taken away. An idea cannot. And the idea lives on. And we marched and we did that stuff. We marched against the banks. I don't know if y'all know this, but every transaction used to be called electronics fund transfers. We got sick of the poor being overtaxed with overdraft fees. So that was one of the reasons mainly we marched. We also marched too because we uncovered that Anonymous had uncovered that Bank of America was like selling faulty insurance to people that did nothing. So we were marching on like Bank of America. Bank of America, you can't hide. We could see your greedy side. There's a bunch of people who were working with senators, representatives, and was able to get pushed through the change on the law that overdraft fees would go away. You would have to opt into it. They wouldn't go away completely. You would have to opt into an overdraft fee. Which you would have to tell the bank that you wanted overdraft protection, which was great. They charge you $36 or $30 if you didn't have 50 cents to cover your little Hulu bill. um, and so that's what it was. 10 years later, though, ACH payments became a thing. Eventually, all the cards had chips. The chips were basically an open processing, piece of information that provided enough RFID information to qualify as an ACH. An ACH then is not subject to a overdraft fee, and all the banks did away with EFTs, so no overdraft fees were back. So they had overdraft fees now. So and you couldn't opt out of it. I have a bank I can't opt out of it, and so here we are. We did that. But the thing for me was, I gave up. I fought so hard, and it was a fight. It was a battle, and we opened 2 doors down from the police station, a little pipe shop, when I got out, and fought for legalization, and I just wanted a better world for my boys, and worked towards it, every minute towards it. And once they were born, and I kind of quit putting myself out there so much to try to make the world a better place, and just was in their world, and then trying to survive, trying to get a place. People would always ask me why are you at the free clinic, man? We don't have health insurance. We're a small business, man. After taxes was taken and everything, we barely ended up with our tax returns were $14,000. I was a business owner doing $14,000, surviving off of that somehow. It was ridiculous, So we didn't even have a place. We're living in our store, and that's what we were doing. And so we were still fighting, but it eventually settled down, relaxed, really started to work towards making their lives better. And that's what we did, and that's what I focused on. And then I almost kind of went like corporate in a way, but it was still selling pipes. But it was a corporate setting, and even my friend was like, "We're going to become more corporate," and like it was smart. He's smart to do it. Um, but corporate is, a bunch of ass kissers. Um, and yeah, so um, I would consider myself kind of like sold out and was just going through the motions. And surprisingly, I was still able to accomplish my goals and dreams. And then I had another baby boy, and then the pandemic hit, and then I watched just complete, just inept systems, you know, inept governments, and I'm not trying to put one on blame on the other. They're all idiots to me. They're all like they are all just kind of after what they need, for their success, and then trying to convince it's for our success. They're all salespeople, They're all really good salespersons. One is like a direct, car salesman, and the other is more like the type of corporate entity that just kind of rules everything without you thinking about it. And so, yeah, long answer short, I felt way more after. It's like almost when you want that better world when your babies are born, and so yeah, I've been fired up about a lot of things, but I've been just working on the business. So that's why I felt it's so important to do this business, because people do find that balance, and once you find that balance, you just live a happier life, and you try to help other people live a happier life around you. And I think inherently, that is what everybody wants. You could take every single one of these problems that we have, and you could boil it down, like, in a pot. You could simmer it down. What do they call that when you cook that down? I can't remember what it's called. There's a name to it. Chef friends would know. Throw it in the chat if you got it. But reduce. You would reduce that down. So you would reduce that down to its most basic forms, and you would end up with the same concepts. Most people want to have a happy family. They want to have a way to deal with mental health, to deal with the struggles that they're going through. Most people just want a roof over their head at the end of the night, and a warm meal to wake up to. That is not a lot, and like, you can come up with all the isms you want, but I don't see why we cannot work together to make this happen. If it required me going into the fields once a month, you know what I mean, I would be there. Sign me up. Let's do it. I would love to. God, I went blueberry picking. That was just so fun. God, it was the best day. Best day. We picked so many blueberries. Yeah, just loved it. Loved it. I would gladly dedicate some of my time to making that happen, so that everybody could have a warm meal. So that everybody could have a house, a home, somewhere they could lock the door behind them when they get there. Because there's no reason we can't achieve this together. There's no reason we can't achieve this together. We're building, skyscrapers with golden toilets that sit empty. Look it up. Like that little scam artist, that diabolical lady. Yeah, she did fraud some people. I agree. She wasn't cool with that. She did highlight something, though. She highlighted just how many of these places are just empty. They're just investments. So it's like we have this system where get to the top, make as much money as you can, and then buy properties and let them just sit empty, so you can maintain your wealth and your higher PowerPoint, right? And so all the properties become outrageously expensive. They go up in price. It's what's happening to us right now. Inflation's up. Everybody's There's so many properties available on my block. Yeah, but they're trying to increase rent because they know I'm here. They know I'm in this business that has the potential to start doing things. But we're just brand new. We don't have no capital behind us backing us. We are just pouring in with our hearts and our love. You know, that's why we're here for 30 days, working 30 days straight, day in, day out. I sleep when it hits me, and I just keep working. I am non-stop. Right now we're just talking, conversating. I'm hoping to make another video with this, so that way we could pull it up and it could play during my feeds at the end of the day. You know, and that's what we're working on doing. We're going to not go anywhere. We're being evicted, but we decided that hey, we're not going anywhere not until our license is up. Our license is $10,000. It's $10,000 a year. By comparison, my license for nicotine products is 1,000, so it's 1/10 the cost. And my license is $10,000 a year at $695. If I was to be able to book 3 days a week, which we're just not, it's so new. People are trying to figure out what this is. So lots of people don't even know you can come do this recreationally. You just can't take it with you, So we're fighting that, trying to get those bookings. Yeah, that's only let's say $695 times by 3 services per week is boom times by 52 weeks per year, and it's only 108. It's only $100,000, right? I know that seems like a lot, but after you start deducing out your expenditures and everything, it's crazy. So let's divide that by the 12. We're talking $9,000 a month. So that would be the equivalent. So paying $10,000 a year for a license. Okay? And at that price, which is our rock bottom price based on the cost of licensing, the cost of utilities, not rent, or not salary, not tissues to cry with, not even water to drink.